Tomorrow's Torah portion is Parshat Nitzavim, which is a very interesting word, a very uncommon word in the Torah. It means standing, but it means more than that. It comes from the word matzeva, which is a monument. In other words, Moshe, on the last day of his life, before they entered the land of Israel, which he was not allowed to do, he implores the Jewish people, Atem nitzavim hayom, you are standing today. In other words, you are standing today, though, like a monument, still, ready to listen, ready to accept. Usually the Torah portions of Nitzavim and next week's Torah portion are joined together. This year they're not. And the Parshiot will be Nitzavim hyphen Vayelach. And I heard many years ago that only when you are Nitzavim, only when the Jewish people are standing still, respectfully, humbly, then Vayelach, then literally, and they can go. Vayelach means and he went. Only when you are still, ironically, and ready to receive, then you can move on in the journey of life or in wherever your travels take you, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's when you're ready to be still like a stone and be willing to hear the other's opinion and to be able to be a unifier and to bring other people into your orbit, then you can be Vayelach type of person. You can be able to move on in any endeavor that you choose. What a beautiful lesson before Rosh Hashanah, as if we have the ability and we take stock of ourselves and we realize how much we talk and don't listen to others, fairly, with equanimity, with grace and goodness. And if we would just stop to do that and be like the Jewish people did on the last day of Moshe's life, which you can imagine was incredibly difficult for them, the Jewish people knew that as long as Moshe is talking, the longer he stays alive. But the second he stops talking and he finishes all of his lessons that he needs to impart to them, the Jewish people knows that he's going to die, because they know that the next thing that happens is entering the land, and they know that he wasn't allowed to do that. So the Jewish people are torn. We don't want Moshe to go. On the other hand, we have to go into the land of Israel to keep the promise that God gave our forefathers. Yet the Jewish people, at the height of this incredible emotional tension, were able to understand that the right thing to do is to listen to Moshe, let him say what he needs to say, and be a receiver. Don't get emotional, don't get anxious about it. Listen to Moshe's words, let him finish what he needs to say, and then he can pass on in peace, and the Jewish people take their place in the next part of Jewish destiny. What a beautiful lesson before Rosh Hashanah. We should have the strength, the courage, the wisdom to be able to be Nitzavim, to stand still with pride and unity in order to move on into the new year. The Thornhillwood Shul, on behalf of my family and the entire Shul on the board, we wish you a Shana Tova U'Metuka, a beautiful, sweet, blessed, happy, and prosperous new year, a Shabbat Shalom. We should only gather together for many beautiful, wonderful occasions, and Chag Sameach.